Hey y'all, it's Megan. It's a nice chilly morning. It's about, 18 degrees out here. Some of y'all folks up north laughing at me because I'm all wrapped up. I don't like the cold. But anyways, today is turkey processing day. Now if you're new to the channel, me and my husband and 2 kids live in the foothills of North Carolina. I'm a homeschool mom. Also, we raise about 80% of our own food, including our Thanksgiving turkeys. We raise just enough turkeys for us to spread out throughout the different families. So I'm gonna process them today. It's Monday. Thanksgiving's on Thursday. That's so everybody can have fresh turkeys for Thanksgiving. Anyways, I gotta get this scalder lit. It'll take it a couple of hours, but it'll be warmed up a little bit in a couple of hours. So I want to go ahead and get this going. Now, this part here does get graphic to some folks. I will be showing the full process of how I did this turkey. So if that kind of stuff bothers you, go ahead and click off, and that's okay. It's not for everyone. Just be sure to check out more videos of mine, cooking from scratch, stuff on the farm. So today I did four turkeys. They were only about 3 months old. The reason being, we raised them to 4 months last year, and the turkeys were they got way too big. And each Thanksgiving we go to is pretty small that I raised these turkeys for. And so I wanted them a little smaller this year. So I think my biggest one was around 13 pounds. Smallest one was right at 8 pounds, which will be perfect for our family Thanksgivings. Now, on this day, I was by myself, doing these. The kids helped a little. You won't see them in this video clip. They were playing in the sandbox. But, they helped for a little while, and that's all I can ask for them. Ask of them, at their age. I am able to watch them play from here. So, ladies, you can do this. I'm speaking to the ladies right now. You don't have to wait on your husband or a man, or sometimes we just have to put our mind to things and do it. And I did the turkeys one at a time. It took me I believe it took me about 3 hours to do the 4 turkeys. Turkeys are a little harder than chickens just because of their size. And those giant wings, they hurt when they smack you in the face. Now, one little tip I'm going to give you, you saw me at the beginning pull it out of a feed sack. The way I do it is I cut a corner in the feed sack, pull the head through, and then the rest, you can use your imagination. But that does help with the flapping because the turkeys are too big to fit in the cones. Now, to get them to go good in my plucker, where they're one at a time, is I do go ahead and cut the feet off before I cut the plucker on. The reason being, where the legs are so much longer than chickens, and you can see me here throwing them to the dog. You'll see her come around to get them in a minute. She likes to go bury them different places, and then she has her own little snacks all throughout the farm when she goes and buries her feet. So, but the turkeys do a lot better. Their feet don't get caught in the plucker if I go ahead and cut those feet off. You want your water to be about 145, 150. The turkey got stuck here, and I'm just raising it up, make sure it didn't hurt anything, and it didn't. But water 145, 150. Check your wing feathers and your tail feathers to be sure you got a good scald on there. That's how you know when they're ready to go in the plucker. When it takes like no effort to pull those feathers out, it's ready to go in the plucker. These can be skinned, or you can pluck them by hand. But since we do have the equipment here, I just go ahead and use that. Now what I'm going to be doing, I'm just picking off some extra feathers that didn't come out in the plucker. The turkey feathers are much thicker than chicken feathers, so it's a little harder for the plucker to get all the feathers off, but it does amazing on your pin feathers and things like that are hard to get off by hand. So I've got all those off. The next thing you're going to see me do is make a little cut there in the front as soon as I get done pulling off these feathers. What I'm going to be looking for is the crop, I think is the technical word for it. I've always called it a crawl. Some people like to give me a hard time about that, but still just pulling extra feathers off. And we do raise these turkeys. They're not cheap to raise because these are the broad-breasted whites, so they really go through the feed. But I just want to be able to offer our family members, fresh turkeys, fresh farm-raised turkeys. It's one less thing we have to depend on the store for, especially, you're hearing about turkey shortages because of that avian flu and everything that was going around. And that was one thing, of course, we didn't have to worry about, The only thing we had to worry about was having the time to process these and give them time to rest before Thanksgiving. Have to sling that hair out of the way. I love my long hair. Sometimes it gets in my way. So now that's what I'm doing. I'm getting the crawl out. I'm just loosening it up so that way we don't have to break the GI tract. And the thing with these turkeys is it's, even though you withhold feed the night before, they eat so much grass because a lot of their diet is grass. A lot of times those crawls will be too big to pull all the way through and you have to cut them off at the neck. I can't remember if this one was like that. I had a couple that were and a couple that weren't full. So ladies, don't be scared to get your hands dirty. Yeah, there I am cutting the crawl out, but don't be scared to get your hands dirty. Don't feel like you have to wait on someone. You've got this. You can do this on your homestead. This is part of my contributing to the homestead is processing the chickens and the turkeys. And of course, Andy would be there to help me, but he is working, and these need to be done. So I went ahead and just did them myself. And after you do it the initial time and get that worried factor, like, I don't know if I can do this by myself, after you get over that initially, you realize that you can do more than you think you can do, than we give ourselves credit for. So now I've cut open the back cavity, and I'm going to start pulling out some of the innards. And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm laying the liver off to the side, and you'll see me lay the heart off to the side. Those are for the turkey dressing, stuffing, whatever you want to call it. What do you call it in your area? Some people call it dressing, some people call it stuffing. Most time I call it dressing. But so I'm pulling the rest of those innards out. I wish I had a better camera angle here, but I cut around the tail to not break that GI tract. Now I'm going in to get the heart. You'll see me lay that off to the side there. It was a very cold morning. I actually got started later than I anticipated. I told you at the beginning I was going to start in a couple of hours. Well, it actually was about 3 hours later because my water hoses were frozen. So I had to wait to be able to have water. And so now I'm pulling lungs out, trachea. The thing with turkeys that makes them a little easier than chickens is you got more room to work. Now, I have small hands, so the chickens don't really bother me, but, men, especially with large hands, it's hard for them to get up in there and get everything out. And the turkeys are much easier because they are bigger. So I've got all that cleaned out. Now I'm going to cut the neck off, and I'm also going to keep the neck to go make the turkey stock that will make the turkey gravy. So the necks, especially on these turkeys, I've found the necks are super hard to cut off. And I've seen people use like pruning shears to just cut these off, and I need to really invest in me some just for this reason. I have some laying around the house, but they're not clean enough that I would want to use for meat. So still trying to get that neck off. It's not nearly as easy as the chicken necks. But I don't want to leave that long neck on there. Like I said, I want to use it for the turkey gravy. And I'll get it here in just a little bit. And while we're waiting on that, be sure to check out more videos. I have a video I made at Thanksgiving last year that showed how I prepare my turkey and how I put it in a brine, which really gives your turkey a lot more flavor and also makes it a lot more juicier. It helps your turkey from being dry. So I do recommend, if you've never tried a brine, to try that and check out that video. And I'll link it here for you to give that a try. Today will be the perfect day to go ahead and get the turkey and the brine for your Thanksgiving day tomorrow. So I'm just pulling the skin off the neck here. I think I was talking to Maggie at this point. She had walked down there. So I'm going to spray everything off really good. So I just spray the cavity out real well, too, before I put it in the cooler. Alright, I'm talking to the kids again. So I want to let these rest for at least 48 hours before you cook them fresh. Same goes for chickens and turkeys, just to help that rigor mortis kind of let loose, and so your meat won't be chewy and tough. So I'll put these in the cooler, and then later on this day I also just put them in a bag and put them in the refrigerator. So see there, I'm just getting that real good. Spraying off my table a little bit. Look over my disgusted looking face. I think I had water splashing in my face. But guys, I appreciate you watching today. That's my full way of processing that beautiful turkey. I must have found a couple more pin feathers there. And you know, this just makes you proud of yourself. You know, here I am, you see me smiling. It gives you a lot of pride, makes you appreciate that Thanksgiving turkey just that much more. It gives you pride knowing that you raised that, what it was fed, how it was raised. That means a lot, y'all. It really does. So, I appreciate y'all watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you would. If you enjoy my content, it really does help me out. And I want to encourage all the women that you can do this. You can do this. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. But you can do it. You can do anything you set your mind to. So, y'all, I hope y'all have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving. I don't know if I'll have any more videos out between now and then, besides this one. But everyone have a wonderful holiday. Enjoy your family. And we'll see you on the next one.